Boom shakalaka. Welcome back to the Austin Automates YouTube channel. In this video, I have Johann with White Label Suites. They have a lead generation tool that has absolutely changed the game. If you are in B2B and you are looking to get business to business leads, they have a tool that goes through the internet. It scrapes all the business information, websites, phone numbers, email addresses, and then it can even enrich the data and go through LinkedIn and pull up stuff that you never even think to find, and they pull it all into this tool, and then they can automate it by sending that stuff into Go Highlevel or into your CRM, and it starts off like automated text messaging campaigns, email campaigns, and then it uses AI to customize the messaging. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then aside from that, he is going to show us how they connect their AI tool with voice AI, text AI, and another piece of AI bot to combine these four bots, and they sell this for $10,000 with a $2,000 monthly recurring revenue. And we're going to dive in and we're going to give you the whole spiel, all the secrets on step by step on how they're doing it. If you stick to the end, we're going to show you how you can sell bots for $10,000 and not even have to do any of the fulfillment. But we're going to get to that. Johann, thank you so much for coming on. I love talking with you, brother. It's been such an amazing journey, like getting to know you. Thank you again for joining me here.
Dude, man, you are freaking epic. I love you. Your energy. I just feel like I can run through a wall right now. Let's go. Let's go.
That's awesome. What time is it there?
Yeah, it's 10 a.m. So I'm all good. I'm all good.
10 a.m. Perfect. So for those of you that don't know, they're based out of Australia. And I have worked with many people all over the world. My very first experience with Johann is he sent me a video message of himself and his team saying, "Hey, Austin, we just wanted to introduce ourselves. We think you're awesome." And they have been awesome ever since. And he was like, "We have this really cool tool we want to show you." I got to dive into the tool and it has been absolutely incredible. So tell me a little bit about White Label Suites, the lead generation tool. Like, what exactly does it do and how did you guys come up with it?
Yeah, man. Dude, all right. Origin story. 13 years ago, my business partner built this thing. He used to sell this on CDs at trade shows. That's how old it is, right? And nowadays, when I tell people about CDs, they're like, "What's a CD?" I'm like, "Oh man, I'm getting old, bro." Anyway, it shows you demographics. So he used to sell this on CDs at trade shows. We met 4 years ago. He interviewed me on his podcast. We just hit it off. We just had the best rapport, and then we kept in touch. And then 4 years ago, he said, "Do you want to do this business with me?" And I was like, "Maybe." And then when he showed me this tool, like I hadn't seen it. When he showed me, my jaw was on the floor, and I went, "Oh my God, if I had this thing 10 years ago, I've been in business for 20 years now. If I had this thing 10 years ago, I would have been, yeah, it would have been a significant impact, right? It's crazy." So that's when it started 4 years ago. And so we plug it directly into Go Highlevel. And so then we started closing deals like crazy because before we were selling Go Highlevel just as it is. And it's a hard sell because we had to get people to change systems. We were so excited because literally it's a Ferrari. You're like, "Dude, I can do your SMSs, I can do your funnels, I can do your email automation, I can do missed call text back, I can do," and the business owner's eyes would glaze over. And they'd be like, "Wow, sounds like a lot of work." And then we went, "Huh, okay." And when we switched it to, "Hey, would you like 1,000 leads a month for $300?" People were like, "Hell yeah, shut up and take my credit card." And we went, "Wow." And so we got up to 50,000 MRR really quickly. And in the high level group, somebody said, "Dude, can you share this with everybody how you're doing it?" And they're like, "No, maybe, I don't know." So this is young, right? When you're young and you've got ego and you're like, "I don't want to share. This is my little secret thing." But guess what? When you put the ego aside and serve more people, you win. And so this guy said, "Hey, if you guys can white label this thing, I can get 100 people on a webinar." And I'm like, "White label it? What do you mean? Give away our leads tool?" He's, "Yeah, like white label it, let them brand it." All right, cool. Let's give it a try. And he got 100 people on. There was 100 people on the webinar.
Wow.
And from that 100 people that week, by the end of the week, we had 100 people watching the replays. The end of the week after, we had 200. By the end of the month, we had 500 people. So this thing's just growing exponentially. It's insane. And that was 4 years ago. No, 3 years ago, sorry. That was 3 years ago. Since then, now we've had the advent of AI. ChatGPT is coming to everybody's lives. When it started, when was it? November 2022, I think.
Yep.
We all got access to AI. We plugged in AI into the tool, and then it got supercharged. So now we've got, if you ever do any email blasts, you're doing the same email to every person. right?
Yeah.
Now, every email is hyper personalized. Austin, you get an email based on everything that we know about you. And by the way, guess what? There is no more privacy on the internet. We know a lot about you because you put it on the internet, right? There's nothing illegal or black hat or gray hat about what we do. Everything is publicly available data. So there's four different ways that the tool works in. The first one is a people search. We call this the sniper. You tell me who you want to fill in a room, and we will get those 100 people in a room. We've used it for ourselves. We've used it to fill up webinars, events like live events, etc. So we find those people, we communicate with them, and then we get them to take action. And because we know everything about what they're thinking, we know everything about they are our ICP. We know how to communicate with them. So this is not a system to send out 10,000 emails, and it's not a spamming tool. Anyone who wants to use it, this is not that tool, right? This is for building business relationships. Business is relationships. So it allows you to hyper personalize the outreach, make sure that there is a good connection, and then invite them into your ecosystem. So that's the people search. We can then find people by industries. And third one is by companies, and the fourth one is influencers. I'm just going to quickly talk through each one of these. So the people search, I can go in there and I can say, find me all the CEOs in New York who do 50 million plus a year who are interested in creating global impact, right? That is a powerful list of people. I now have access to their profiles. I can now press a button with my chat GPT plugged into this thing, and it's going to then summarize them. It's going to create a great offer about my company to them. It'll create a video script. Whatever I needed to do, it'll do. And we push that button. Now it's hyper personalized. And now it can reach out to them. So that's the people search. The company search, I can find anyone in any industry. The best way to talk about this one is an example. This is my best and most favorite case study. This guy comes up and he calls up 21st of December. He's like, Johann, you've changed my life. Just wanted to send you a bottle of champagne for Christmas. I went, wow, okay, cool. Dude, but who are you? You've called me randomly at 8 o'clock on I think it was a Tuesday morning or something. Who are you? He goes, I signed up to your software 3 months ago. My business was crashing. Just letting you know, in the last, my wife was telling me to drive an Uber, all this, like he told me his story. I was like, damn. He goes, in the last 2 months, I've made on average $80,000. I'm like, come on, man, you don't need to BS me. Going from zero to 80,000 a month is a significant deal. I go, no need to stretch the numbers. He goes, no, I did it. I go, how'd you do it? He went into the people search. He found all the CEOs who invest in property in the rich end of town.
Oh,
So now
wow.
he's got a really good database, right, of CEOs who invest in property. He then went into the company search and found all the real estate agents that service that area and said to them, hey, I'm a buyer's agent. I have too many leads. I want to send you my leads. Now, leads to a real estate agent, they ain't never going to say no to that. Over here in Australia, they get for selling these houses, the houses are 2 million to 4 million in this area that he was talking about. And the commission on that is $30 to $50,000.
Yeah.
So he says to them, hey, I don't want a percentage of your commission. I just want a flat fee of $2,000. They know they're going to make 30 to 50,000 on every deal that they close. He says, this is my deal. I will send you the lead. If you like the sound of it, buy the lead. You own the lead, and I will help you nurture them and close them. It's a pretty irresistible offer, right? So now he's got all the real estate agents who've now opted in and said, put me on the database. Then he sends an email to his CEOs who invest in property. Hey, Austin, I know you're the CEO of XYZ company and that you invest in property. We've got 3 amazing deals on the table with a high ROI. Are you interested in checking out these 3 deals? Out of the 1,000 people he emailed, 400 of them replied back and said, yes, I am. Send me
Wow.
the details. When they say, send me the details, another email comes through going, hey, I'm getting those organized for you right now. Just answer these 3 little questions for me. Question number 1, I'm ready to buy now, 3 months, 6 months. Question number 2, 0 to 500, 500 to a million, million plus, ready to deploy. Question number 3, seaside, countryside, or city side. As soon as they tick those 3 boxes, which takes less than 5 seconds, an email goes out to the real estate agents saying, brand new lead. His name's Austin. He's got $1 million ready to deploy, and he's looking for a seaside place. Got anything? Want the deal? They click, they buy. What does it do? It trains them to go, lead came up, they go to click buy, guess what? The lead's bought. So now they put that in their primary and they're like, put me on high. As soon as the email comes from this guy, I want to know. And
Yeah.
so now he's training the real estate agents to buy the leads. So from those 400 that replied, he sold 40 of them at $2,000 a pop, which is how he made his $80,000. So from 1,000, he only made 40 sales. but it netted him 80 grand.
Yeah.
And then rinse and repeat. So that's the people. That's the people and the company search. The domain search, when you know the company that you want to work with, now I'm going to go into another little quick story. This guy calls up, and all day, every day, we see agencies signing up. And then I see a restaurant signed up. I'm like, restaurant? What the? So I call up the guy because I don't want to waste anybody's time. I'm like, dude, just letting you know, I'm going to cancel your account because I don't want you to waste your time. You don't need to do all the training and stuff. You're a restaurant. He's, no, I watched all your YouTube videos. I know this will work. I'm like, all right, cool. Talk to me. Tell me. He goes, I'm opening up my restaurant in 2 weeks. I am in the middle of the city. And I forget which city it is. It starts with an S. It's either San Diego or Seattle. I've forgotten. One of them. And he goes, I'm opening it up, and here I am. And I go, what do you see around you? So he goes outside, he walks around, he sees all these buildings. I go, can you go into the building and take a photo of the directory board of the businesses that are in that building? He goes, yeah, of course. Goes in, takes a photo, comes back, and then he puts that into a domain search. So now he puts in the domain names of all those companies. And guess what happens? Now he has everyone who works at those places. He sends them an email. Hey, neighbor, just letting you know we're opening up in 2 weeks. Attached is a coupon. When you come in for dinner, you get a free bottle of wine. When you come in for breakfast, you get a free muffin. When you come in for lunch, it's 20% off. His line was out the door.
That's
So
brilliant.
that's the main one. Now, the last one is our influencer search. Influencer search, if you have a product and you want to get it out there to people, influencers are the easiest way. So I went in there and I typed in AI marketing influencer, and this guy pops up. He's got 115,000 people on his Instagram. I think I have 1,000 people. I'm not a very social type dude. So he's got 115,000. For me to build my audience to 115,000 is going to take me probably a year, maybe more, right? I don't know. And this guy's got those people. So I messaged him. I'm like, dude, I see your audience. This is my product. Do you want to do a joint venture? And he's, yeah, sure, cool. I charge $500 a post. I went, great, happy to pay you $500 a post. Dude, for me to get access to 115,000 people, I go, by the way, I've got an affiliate program. I'll pay you 30%. Or I'm happy to transfer you the $500. He's like, wait, 30% with that product? Okay. I'll take the 30% all day long. And then this guy, we gave him the videos and everything, and now he's publishing it. That's one person. It took me less than an hour to build that relationship.
Yeah.
And as soon as he's published it, there's been a significant amount of revenue coming from just that one relationship. But guess what? I spent another day with finding out another 100 of those guys, building relationships, getting them to promote. It's way easier than me spending my hard-earned money on Facebook ads and Google ads and figuring all that kind of stuff out. Joint ventures. You and I, we're talking about a joint venture. You've got an audience. I've got a product. Guys, this is you watch how it's all done, right? It's this is how business is done. And when you know and trust the person who you are promoting, who you're working with, business is much more easier. Austin and I have known each other for 4 years. And he's seen the evolutions of our tool and what we've gone through. And I've seen you, dude, you've become a freaking titan in 4 years. It's amazing. So that's a snapshot of our tool, of where it was, where it went to. Now, I've got another story, but I want to make sure that I'm covering everything. Are you good? I'm going to go into the full bot system in a second.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to touch on, because I saw the webinar on the 4-bot system, and that day I signed up for closebot because I was like, I don't know if I want to take on everything that they're doing, but on the content side of things, I was like, this is where everybody's going. This is the direction everyone's heading. But you said something real quick about your tool that I didn't understand in the beginning, and I know that a lot of people have had questions about it, and you just said something that kind of cleared all of that up. It's a relationship building tool. And I had a friend of mine that wanted to use it just to download a whole bunch of emails and send all these emails out. And I had it all set up. I had the AI set up. It was pulling first of all, the AI side of it, where it was able to scan their website and then customize the emails, plug all of those little segments into like custom values, and then you could send that into Highlevel and then it send the email. In my brain, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, but this doesn't work if you're sending out like 5,000 emails at a time. And I was like, this is more of like a personal thing. And I kept trying to get it to work for like bulk. But the way that you explain it, I'm like, duh, that makes way more sense. Like, why not try and build 20, 15, 20 quality relationships and
So that,
find people that want to, work together instead of just like mass sending things out. And so it made a whole lot of sense what you just said.
You nailed it. And because it's so powerful, what happens when you send out 5,000 messages? They get through to the gatekeeper, they get through to people's inboxes. What do people do? They reply.
Yeah.
What happens when they reply? You have to have a conversation. You have to book in. You have to have a meeting with them.
Yeah.
And so we did have some people who went and did the download the list and trigger it, and everything's hyper personalized. And then they're like, I'm overloaded, shut down the system, please. I've got too much. I'm like, bro, we told you.
Yeah.
20 emails a day, because what happens when you email 20 people? Are they all going to reply? No. Five going to reply, 10 going to reply? Yes. That's another 5 hours of your time that you have to block out in that week. But that's today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, another 20 going out. Tomorrow, another 20 going out. Usually, so we do 20 for the first week, 40 for the next week, and then you can keep building up. We've got a guy who's got 400 people on his staff, and he does about 800 a day. But dude, he's got 400 staff
Yeah.
every day. So that's a lot of, and he's nailed it after all these years. So it's not a magic bullet. I'm not telling you that it's a magic bullet. It is a relationship building tool. It'll build relationships with the right people, get those people into your ecosystem. You still have to have a good product. You have to have a good sales process. You have to be charging a fair amount for what you're doing. Those things I cannot control.
And you have
So
to not be afraid to actually have conversations. Like this is not, I keep telling people we're not in a world where people just show up to your website and buy anymore. You actually have to have conversations. Like if I want to sell to a dentist now, I either have to call them or write something that they're going to respond to. Plain and simple. Gone are the days where you just send someone an email and you have a 90% open rate and everyone's, oh, this is all new. They're getting bombarded. So you have to find a way to stand out.
we've got a guy. He is the number one salesperson in Las Vegas selling chiropractic machines. So speaking of doctors, this is what triggered this. He went into the tool and he finds all the chiropractors in Vegas. And then he's got his route that he does around. And so he sends the guys in this, let's call it quadrant of Vegas, saying, hey, I'm going to be in your area tomorrow or next week. Just letting you know, this is a brand new machine. It's FDA approved and everything about it. And it's going to add X dollars to your bottom line. Here's a 2-minute video on how it works. That's all he's asking for, 2 minutes. And we've found that's the sweet spot, 2 minutes. If you ask somebody to watch a 5-minute video, guess what? They'd rather go on Netflix. They'd rather go on YouTube and watch comedy or cat videos or whatever.
Yeah.
When you ask them for 2 minutes, and when you put in brackets, you can watch it on 2 times speed, they're going to click and give you that 1 minute. They're going to give you 30 seconds before they switch it off, right?
Yeah.
So 2-minute video. So he sends them this 2-minute video, which explains what this machine is. By the way, the machine costs 100 grand. So he explains the machine. He explains how it's going to help their bottom line. He explains how it's all FDA approved, blah, 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 blah. And then on that page is just a booking link to book into him. Nothing else, just the video and just a booking link. So it's very simple. Then they click, they book in, and this guy is now the number one salesperson in Vegas.
I bet.
Right? Pretty cool, pretty powerful, because it's, again, relationship building, hyper personalized. He knows how to talk to them, and he knows how to get through to them and break through for the 2 minutes, which then gets him the foot in the door, which
Yeah.
allows him to sell a $100,000 machine. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. So we want to talk about the 4 bots. Shall we get onto that?
Yes, and for those of you that want to learn more about the White Label Suites tool, I recorded some content. It is going to be inside of my free Skool Community GHL blueprint. If you look right here and go into the classroom area right here, you will see it's going to be in this area, a walkthrough of White Label Suites and how you can get access to it. But I want to dive into the 4-bot system because I know a lot of you want to know, how do you sell $10,000 bots? I know some of you are in some of these bot communities and you hear people closing the $4,000, the $5,000, the $6,000. We've heard 15,000, 20,000. Some of those are outliers and they don't happen all the time. These guys are consistently selling and have people consistently selling a $10,000 build out fee with a $2,000 a month recurring revenue. And the bots do all of the work. So, yes, let's dive into that.
Awesome, man. So, dude, so this is what happened. Last September, I go for a walk with this thing. It's an iPhone. And on there is ChatGPT. And I saw all these influencers talking about, hey, I made an extra $5,000 with ChatGPT, etc. So I said to it, I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, I want you to make me an extra 10 million by next December. This is my team. This is my product. This is every, and I literally talked to it for 20 minutes on my walk. And it comes back And it's cool. You're focused on this. These are the things you need to focus on. And I used the command, be brutally honest. Let's cut the BS. Let's just go straight to the strategy that's going to help us make that 10 mil. I gave it a budget as well. So that was very important. I've got prompts and stuff. I'll send that over and we can put that as part of this. So 2 hours later, we end up with the playbook that's 400 pages of step by step, the brand, the videos, the scripts, the ads to run, the email campaigns, the promotions every month, all of this. 400 pages. That's all it takes to launch a $10 million company, right? So we launched this thing in 6 weeks. This thing has done more than our normal business. Let's put it that way. And we're a significant business. So I just went, holy shit. So I said to Walt's my business partner, I'm like, dude, did we figure out an infinite money hack? What is going on here? The reason is you and I, we're talking relationships. We've talked about relationship building. This thing is making sales without talking to anybody. It's not talking to us. It's not talking to our staff. People are going, they're having a great experience and they're buying. And I went, it's like the freaking 90s again. Yay. This is amazing. So here's what happened. So we have our leads tool. The leads tool is targeted towards salespeople. The email that goes out to them is, hey, James, I know you're in sales. We've got a brand new AI. It's in beta. Would love for you to check it out. Here's a 3-minute video on exactly what it is. And here's a coupon in case you want to sign up. That's the whole email. It's targeted to salespeople. What do salespeople want? More sales.
Yeah.
So they're clicking. They're watching the 3-minute video. They're like, holy moly, this is incredible. Buy. The buy that we're asking them is $97 a month. So they're signing up to buy the tool. So that's system. But on there, we also have, if you have any questions, talk to the bot. So they can go and chat to the bot. People are literally building out campaigns with our bot because it's so smart. That's the closebot piece, right? It can SMS them a coupon. When it SMSs them, it's having a conversation with Austin about his business and how his business can benefit from having the tool. It's having a conversation with Jane about her medical practice. It's having a conversation with Mary about how her reporting can be better using this tool. It's having multiple different conversations. So that's the power of closebot. Every conversation is fully personalized. Where does it get the data from? It gets the data from our tool. So our tool generates the data and understands everything about that person, passes it to GHL. GHL passes that to closebot. Closebot then communicates and feeds off all that data. And then now it knows everything about your business. Those are, we're up to 3 bots in that system. Then, because it's hyper personalized, every webinar that's happening, at the end of every webinar, imagine everyone on your YouTube channel could be having a conversation with our technology right now, and every one of them would be having a personalized conversation based on their business. Because all we need is their website URL or their email, and we know who they are. Those are their identifiers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super, super powerful, which makes the conversions really high. Now, we plugged in voice. So now voice AI comes into it and it's, hey, Austin, talk to, and she is closing. We call her she, it's a female. She's closing $10,000 deals. Our sales team was 12 people. It's down to 2 people. So September last year, we had 12 salespeople. December, we have 2 salespeople, right? Because when we plugged it in, this thing is having the best conversations, and we can read and see all the conversations. We can listen to the conversations. We know that if the conversation went for 3 minutes, it's a maybe. If it goes for 6 minutes, it's a sale because the AI has convinced them. And it goes through, the AI is trained on straight line persuasion, all the Grant Cardone stuff. Like it's learning from the best of the best. So it knows how to close, right?
Yeah.
And that's all. And it's all objective based. So it's, hey, I need you to get this person to do a trial because we know that if they get a trial, they're going to subscribe for a monthly or annual or whatever it is. I need to get this person to see a demo. If they see the demo, so it's all objectives based. So the 4 bots are White Label Suite, our tool, closebot for the chat, Synthflow for voice, and GHL for to manage everything, to be the supervisor, to do the onboarding and upselling and support. Yeah. That happened. And then when I came back from Dallas, Texas, from the GHL conference, all of these people, I was doing all these speaking tours around here in Australia, and all these people said, "Wow, love the four bot system. I wanted to sell my financial planning. I wanted to sell my mortgage broking. I wanted to sell my commercial real estate. Can you install it for me?" I said, "Yes." They go, "How much is it for the full bots?" I said, 50,000. I know we've said 10,000. The reason I've said 10,000 is because when I talk about 50,000, most people go, "That's ridiculous. It's not possible." Maybe not in USA, in Australia, yes. 50,000 for a build out of 4 systems that are going to replace 8 people in your company. It's an easy to
Yeah,
do thing,
it's a no-brainer.
right? It's a no-brainer. To employ someone on base wage is 40, $50,000. Here we have highly trained, specialized close closers, highly specialized support staff, highly specialized lead generators. So if you add up those 4 technologies, it equates to about 8 people that you're replacing in the company.
Yeah,
And you can move them around. But is the value of that 50,000? Is the value of that 10,000? Actually, I'll bring it back. Is the value 10,000 all day, every day? We get them to demo. When we get them on the phone via Zoom or face to face, we go, "Here, talk to the AI." They will talk to the AI and they will close themselves. So that's how good it is. We go, "Here's SMS this thing," and it'll SMS them and it'll take them through and they'll be like, "How does it know this about me? How does it?" I'm like, "Because you put it on your LinkedIn. That's why." And they're like, "Wow, this is amazing." And so they're SMSing, they're closing themselves. Then they go and they show that to their people. Guess what happens now? 95% of businesses are by referral.
Hmm.
"Hey, Mark said I had to come talk to you. You built this amazing system. Cool. I want what he's got." No, there's no negotiation on price. Didn't even bother bartering.
Yeah,
They know what they're buying and they just go, "Let's go." So that's how you can do this. So that's the full bot system. That's how we went from, oh, by the way, we got completely overloaded. We couldn't deliver enough. We don't have staff to build all of these full bot systems for everyone. So then we trained up our enterprise clients and said, "Hey, we're going to certify you guys, and you guys can now take the training and you can go sell this all day long." And
yeah,
so did that. So that was December. Then our tribe split into 2. We said, "Hey, I need you to self-identify. There's builders, people who love the technology, and there's sellers, people who love selling but don't want to build." So we split them into 2, paired them up, because now the sellers can go sell all day long. They can sell 1 deal, 2 deal, 5 deals, 10 deals a day, and the builders can build for them. So now there's this beautiful synergy where you identify either as a seller or a builder, a seller, whichever way, and stick to your strengths, pair up. Now the builders have 5 sellers selling for them all day long, which means their factory that they're building over here and
yeah,
the systems they're building can just get systemized and optimized, and they can just do this all day long. They don't need to do the thing that they don't like, which is selling.
yeah.
Sellers can go out and just close deals. They have unlimited capacity. So how they are now working in unison together. By the way, this is us out of it. This is just how it's happened organically.
Yes.
The sellers are going and selling it for 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever it is, and they are paying the builders 5,000 on average to build it at. So if they're selling it for 10 grand, they're automatically making $5,000 without having to do any more effort because the builders are taking care of everything. They're selling it for 20 grand. They get a nice $15,000 uplift. And these guys have got cash flow coming through. And then they get the monthly. So now they split the monthly because one's taking care of all the customers and all those sorts of things. And the other one gets the uplift because they're selling all day long and they're still relationship. That's
What is like the target audience for the four bot system? What are the types of businesses that I talked to a business, sold them on a couple bots. It's a $10,000 build out, but it's different than what you're doing. But with your system in place, what are the types of businesses that would be like, yes, I want this?
established businesses because they know the value of a lead. They know the value of a conversion. They know the value of time. Because when they put this in, they go, "Wait, I don't need to have a receptionist anymore." No, I don't. I
But I mean,
don't
like,
need
is it like, are we talking like solar companies, roofer companies? Are we talking chiropractors, dentists?
100%. So tradespeople, they don't they're not. So I'm talking about established companies, established businesses in my vocabulary, $2 million plus. The reason being, the ones who are less than that, they're more lifestyle and they're not interested in systemizing. So you talked about solar company. Oh, let's talk about electricians and plumbers over here in Australia, busy all the time.
Yeah.
because they're so busy and in such high demand, they don't need systems because they know that they're going to get another job, another 10 jobs this week.
Yeah.
They don't care. Because they don't care, they just like doing what they do. They're a hobby business. There are, by the way, systemized electricians and plumbers and like proper businesses who are doing 2 million plus who now have systems. To them, this is invaluable. They want this, they want it now. Because now they can allocate more jobs more efficiently, they can close more deals, people are getting replied to. They spend, one of the guys, they spend some 80, 90 grand on ads on Google itself just for dog door installation, that keyword. Why? Because that's how much demand there is. So when they know how much they're spending, and guess what? So with that dog door installation, if they don't answer the phone, if they don't give me the service within 2 or 3 minutes, guess what I did? I clicked and went to the next one. And the first person to get back to me is going to get my business. Now that's $1,000 that I'm going to spend on the dog door. And that's what they've missed out on. They've spent $20 on Google to get that ad placement. But if they don't reply, they've lost that money. I know we're going a bit more advanced digital marketing.
No, no. So, and that's what I was trying to understand. So, just so wrap my head around it a little bit. So, to use marketing terms, so like we have obviously like missed call text back is set up, and then voice AI can handle questions, objections, and that's from like the service-based business. Like if I'm selling this to a business, then I'm going to set up voice to handle inbound inquiries. I'm going to set up SMS to do missed call text back or handle messaging inquiries. And then obviously Go Highlevel is going to hold it all together. Maybe not necessarily like depending on the type of business, they might not necessarily need the leads tool. But then that's setting up like the service business side of things. Now, if I want to sell the four bot system, that's when now the white label suite leads tool comes into play that's able to find people that would want this and then demonstrate and then so probably demonstrate voice, demonstrate you basically could have an SMS bot and a voice bot selling the
Exactly.
bot system to them. Now, when you're looking for those types of people, are you looking for more like agencies then?
It's more um, professional services like financial planners, mortgage brokers, those types of people who don't have the bandwidth to set all this stuff up and
Yeah.
they've got product that's worth a lot, which
Yeah.
if they close 2 or 3 or 5 deals, it's paid for the system.
Like the system I just sold, we're waiting on, they have a CRM that I've never even heard of, and they don't have like inbound, outbound webhooks. So they're building what they told me is a universal API so that I can take appointments out of their CRM automatically and put them into high level. They basically get 800, 900 calls a month that are asking one question: when is my appointment? And I was like, you guys don't have any text message reminders going out of appointments? They were like, no, because sometimes we don't know for a week or two. So basically, they take on when like popular brands like Whirlpool, LG, home appliances, when someone has their washing machine breaks and then they call Whirlpool and they say, hey, I need you to send someone to fix it. This company takes on all of those repairs from all these different things. And so they were like 60 to 70% of our phone calls, they have a 30-person call center. 60 to 70% of their calls is someone calling saying, hey, when is my appointment? That's it. And then, hey, can I reschedule my appointment? And so I told them, I was like, so you don't have any text messages going out that's automating appointment reminders, and you don't have any type of, and I was like, and if I had an AI agent that could take an inbound call and answer that question, you could probably remove half of your call staff. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, so that's $10,000. And they were like, they didn't even blink. They were like, oh, deal. I was like, it's 10,000 bucks, set that up, $1,500 a month. And they were like, yeah, no brainer. And I was like, oh, and I'll probably throw in the AI voicemail drop. So like whenever an appointment is set, they'll get a voicemail, they'll get a text message. And then if they call in, then AI voice will answer that question. And then if they go to your website, they can actually chat with the AI powered chat widget and say, here's my phone number. When's my appointment? Their jaws were on the ground. They were like, this is possible. Their call center lady was like, I could let, she's just sad, but I could let go like half of our team. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, and the AI, but I think the AI voice can handle like 1,000 phone calls at a time,
Yep.
something like that. Okay. So and the funny thing was, is I didn't even know that was possible until I watched your guys' webinar and I was like, okay. The thing was, is I've been doing this since 2016 and follow Russell Brunson. I'm a funnel hacker, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, I can piece this together. But the way you guys broke it down is so simple that if people just have business connections, the sale is not that difficult. It's really not.
We've literally got it down to 27 minutes
The webinar.
to the sale. So if you put me
Oh,
down in front of someone, I will walk out of there in 28 minutes and have a $10,000 sale.
so when it comes to the builders, because you separated the builders and the sellers, do you have trainings for both sides of those? Of course you do. What am I asking? I'm asking. You guys have trainings, SOPs. You probably have a bot that does the training.
We have a bot that trains you. Austin, you haven't finished your module. Come on, let's go.
I'm getting text messages and my voicemails in my sleep. Austin, please finish module 3 before tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is
Uh, we,
incredible.
we love systemizing because once you systemize, then it becomes a system and it can scale. So now we can have 50, I can stand on stage and sell 1,000 full bot systems, and I don't have to do any of the work. I can just pass that to my people.
Now, suppose I wanted to use the tool. Okay, man, I'm gonna ask you your brain because now I have all these ideas. So I have a free Skool Community. This is my goal. I'm gonna have 500 high level affiliates. The next year, whenever the next high level thing, I'm walking across that stage as someone that was like hustling and doing the work. And I have
You know,
I want my free sweatshirt. I want my little golden statue. I want it all. And I don't chase awards, but I saw all of these people posting YouTube content, and I was like, I want that. And so I want to be like the top high. I want to be one of the top high level affiliates. I would be the top closebot affiliate. I want to be the top white label suite affiliate. And I was like, you know what? I want to create an environment where I have all of these tools and I could promote them. How could I use the lead tool? Because there's a lot of people out there that are doing what I'm doing. They want to be an affiliate marketer. How could I use the lead tool? Because you've sold high level, the lead tool, voice, text message, all of that to sell my paid Skool Community for me. Is that even possible?
dude, we did this 4 years ago without all the tools, right? This is how we did it. We
Don't tell me that.
literally went into our tool, and I'm saying this was an actual case study for business coach. The business coach went into the tool and he found all of his ideal clients and he said, hey, I know who you are. You belong with us. We've got a private Facebook group. So this is 4 years ago. So Facebook group. We've got a private Facebook group where all of us are hanging out, and this is who's in the group. We'd love for you to join. So it's a free group. And so people, the ask is click and join the free Facebook group.
Yeah.
Now this has evolved into click and join the free WhatsApp group, click and join the free Skool group. So whichever one you do. So they click, they join. And when they join the Facebook group, guess what happens? They've got the featured videos at the top and all these likes and comments, and people are loving it. And so then they click and watch, and they're like, wow, this guy's delivering amazing value, just like you do. So they click on there and they're like, wow, Austin's freaking cool. All right. And guess what happens? If I watch 10 minutes of you, I now know and trust you. You have a folder in my head. And then if the content is good and helps me survive or thrive, if it's helping me thrive, that's all our brains are wired for, survival or thrival. Thrival, that's not a word.
I like it.
Survival,
You invented it.
survival or thrival, right? So if you can help me thrive and I go, wow, this guy can help me get to the next level, now I have an affinity to you. So the better that content, the more valuable that content, the more connection we're going to have. You talked about Russell Brunson. You talked about Alex Hormozi. You have a connection with them. You feel like you know them. Why? Because they're helping you thrive,
Yeah.
right? So if when you do that, so now the email goes out to the people, invites them to your free Skool group. They click, they join, they watch those first 4 videos. At the end of the videos, you go, guys, if you're new here, jump on. Let's get on a 10-minute call. Let me help you get to the next level. They watch the videos. Guess what happens? They're like, dude, this guy's going to give me 10 minutes. That's epic. That's where you go, hey, do you have Go Highlevel? So that's how you get them into Go Highlevel under your thing. What happens once they have infrastructure inside Go Highlevel? They never change it. They're not going anywhere because they've invested too much into that. So you've locked that in. Then you go, hey, by the way, to make it better, Here's closebot. To get more leads, here's white label suite. And you're helping them through all this. And here's all the videos, and here's all the training. And what happens? They just sign up to everything because as they're making more money, they now have more money to spend. And the tools are dirt cheap for what the value that they do. Like
Yeah,
seriously,
absolutely.
if you add up Go Highlevel, white label suite, closebot, the value that you get from those things, like you should be selling, everyone should be selling it at a minimum of $10,000. I see people trying to do the race to the bottom thing, $97, you get all three. It's like
All of
you
them. Yeah, that's so garbage.
dude, don't do that. You're going to be out of business very
Yeah,
quickly because you don't have the time to be able to serve that community.
correct.
Anyway, that's me off my soapbox.
No, that's super helpful, and that's it's good to see hearing someone that's done it break it down because I have my free group, and then my paid group is literally if you have a high level account and you don't want to switch, it's $97 a month, and if you become one of my affiliates, you get access to the paid group for free. I have my different blueprints in there, so reputation management, database reactivation, lead generation for influencers, missed call text back, and then my Facebook ads mastery. There's just like five blueprints. If you want to use it for your own business, you can use it to grow your own business. If you want to use my blueprints to start your own SaaS or agency, you can use it for that. And then I do 5 live calls a week inside of this group. So they're literally getting 5 hours a week of high level support, automation support on any one of those blueprints. So a business says, I want to automate my 5-star reviews. They can literally pay $100 a month and then or they could sign up for high level under me, then show up to my live calls, and for $100, I will literally show them how to automate their 5-star reviews. And so that's how I might increase the price, and I'm going to give away a laptop and all that fun stuff. But I was like, I love teaching high level anyways, and so I was like, how do I escalate people from a free group into my paid group? And then my biggest thing when everyone has there's two questions that I've heard for years in high level. What do I sell? Because
Who do I?
no one knows what the heck to sell inside of high level. No one. They're like, it's a Ferrari. And I'm like, you could sell brake pads, you could sell tires, you could sell steering wheels, but they're like, but I want to sell it all. I'm like, this isn't Pokemon, okay? You don't catch them all. You just got to pick one. And then the second thing is, where do I start?
Yep.
And as I got into the closed bots communities and spaces, like everybody's like, oh yeah, AI bots, this is awesome. I learned how to use an AI bot. And then they're like, what's a workflow? And I'm like, and so I found this gap where, okay, cool, people are learning how to build AI bots, but they have no idea how to set up a workflow or automate. Yeah, they learned how to do a trigger and then a webhook, but they don't know how to like, hey, when a form is submitted, a tag gets added, an email gets sent, a text message gets sent, and then they're like, oh, this is like brand new information. So I want to help those people that are either just getting started, pick something. I have all of these frameworks that I've sold because I did all of that. I sold websites, I sold lead generation, I sold funnels, I sold database reactivation, reputation management. And I was like, I can't pick anything, so I'll just sell them all. But I have frameworks because I got it all to work. And then I would get bored and I was like, but I'll just go sell this other thing. And so that's the plan. Put all of that. But then what's cool is you guys have a tool, and then you're right. I could stick white label suites in there, have a full training on how to use that. Closebot, I just did an interview with Bryce, released the interview today. That was so much fun. But you're absolutely right. So yeah, you that was very helpful.
You have the lead generation framework? Sounds like you need one.
I have a lead generation framework, but everything that I've done is free leads. Do you have a lead generation framework?
Sure we do. We've got hundreds of hours of training. I'm sure I can find you something.
Yeah, anything you have, everything I've taught is how to get if you have no money and you I just wanted to prove a point to everybody. I told everyone, listen, you should be messaging everyone. If you have no money, message everyone everywhere. And I found a Facebook ad that someone was selling ChatGPT prompts and it was labeled AI agents. And then, but people weren't buying AI agents, they were buying prompts and hundreds of questions inside of this chat, inside of this ad. And people are like, can it do this? Can it do this? Can it do this? And then I started finding people that said, hey, can it respond to people that fill out a form on my website? Can it respond to people that, and the guy was answering to no one because he was bait and switching people selling prompts. So I went in and I started answering questions. I can build a bot that can answer that. I can build a bot that can do that. And finally, I have 27 people that messaged me directly One guy said, "Hey, he asked, he said, can it connect with High Level?" And I said, "I have a bot that can connect with High Level." In a 10-minute conversation, I sold a $3,700 bot over the phone. And that's it.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Man, this has just been epic.
Yeah, no,
Love.
and I really want to respect your time. Listen, I want to set up a time where, and I'm sure everyone's going to want to see it, where we can set up and actually go through the webinar. If you want to learn how to sell $10,000 bots and you want a full on training on how to do that, put it in the comments. Johann, like I said, I really want to respect your time. Thank you for coming on and sharing your goal. This has been super awesome. Thank you, brother.
Pleasure, dude. You are amazing. I'll
Thanks.
talk to you.